Are there other deals that are imminent? Are you hearing other countries are close to an agreement?
Well, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, he was in Switzerland this past weekend, so he was meeting with his Chinese counterparts in Switzerland there. Look, Donald Trump put on social media, on Truth Social, the White House actually put out a formal official statement saying that a trade deal had been reached with China. Now, there's not a whole lot in the way of details there, but presumably there's something because, this came out not necessarily just from social media, but the White House literally put it on whitehouse.gov from their verified social media accounts there. So hopefully we learn more. That's probably going to happen in real time here in the next 24, 48 hours or so. But it looks like U.S.-China could have an off-ramp to this trade war sooner rather than later, which is probably a good thing for consumers. As long as Donald Trump and MAGA and America get concessions out of it, as long as there's something to actually point to and say this is actually a win, then I will be optimistic for it. But again, the devil will be in the details in that one.
Now, we're seeing more leftist officials being arrested. Funnily enough, when you break the law, you'll end up in handcuffs. Here is Newark Mayor Raz Baraka, who was arrested at an ICE facility. That's the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention facility that opened last week. Josh, the mayor claims he did nothing wrong and he's vowing to shut down the ICE facility there.
Rita, if I didn't know any better, if I saw this clip in a vacuum of a government official barnstorming a federal immigration facility there with anarchic intention, with the intention of undermining and subverting, and dare I say, seeking to, on a smaller scale, potentially overthrow one facet of the federal government. If I were being a little bit more, shall we say, a little more diabolical, I might say that this looks a heck of a lot like an insurrection. Because that's basically what it is. This is essentially a blue state mini insurrection there. And who the heck are the Democrats? Who the heck are the left this year? To say that Donald Trump and the whole January 6th thing, no, this was kind of a republic threatening insurrection. What incredible hypocrisy. But the worst part about it to me is that this says so much about the actual state of the politics of the Democratic Party, meaning what plays politically well for them, what is politically poor. The fact that the mayor of Newark saw fit to do this there, this means that he thinks this is politically beneficial because that guy wants to run for governor of New Jersey. He views this as a stepping stone for a statewide run. What does it say? That a stunt like this, an insurrectionist stunt, seeking to get arrested, a photo op in handcuffs, that apparently makes you a star in today's Democratic Party. What does that say about that party? Obviously nothing particularly good, that's for sure.
I could not believe the antics afterwards, Josh, because he was on every network playing the victim, pretending like this was political persecution. As you said, he invaded that facility, refused to leave. He was given plenty of choices and plenty of chances to actually get out of there without being arrested, and he refused. What other choice did authorities have in those circumstances?
They had none. This guy wanted to be arrested. He literally had every intention of going there and of being arrested for the cameras because he knew that he would get off there. Two-tier system of justice. Again, it's Newark, New Jersey. It's a very blue jurisdiction there. Democrat governor and on there. But again, he wanted this showdown. He literally wanted this because he thought that it would play well for statewide voters. By the way, New Jersey is actually a politically interesting state. New Jersey is actually not quite as blue as people think it is. In fact, if you look at the 2024 election, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris wins that state. I forgot the exact margin, but it's roughly 5 points, 5.5 points, which actually is really not a particularly wide margin at all. And in fact, Republicans have actually been making inroads in the New Jersey state legislature. As some of these suburbs and exurbs of Philadelphia and New York City trend a little bit redder and more MAGA direction there's a lot of people speculating that New Jersey could actually be in play at a presidential level in 2028, or 2032 at the latest. So,
wow.
The mayor might think that he is doing this as a political stunt to benefit his career there in the Garden State, but he might actually be in for a rough surprise, believe it or not.
Josh Hammer, thank you so much for your time tonight.
My pleasure.